you think by doing in-car activity and drive experience? Was it good? Oh, I love it. I love it. Were you able to pick up on more than one new thing today?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see opportunities now that you can clearly take advantage of by using that I do, we do, you do teaching model? Yes. Okay. So this is where I want you to start. It's direct application when you head back to the stores and back to your homes. I'd like you to begin thinking about how you can approach your delivery differently to make a stronger connection with the customer and breaking down the explanations of the technologies that you went through today. Now remember, there were some technologies that were a little challenging out there. I want you to give me some of your best practices, if you could, like knowing what you know now. What are some of the things that you learned in the in-car technology portion, perhaps with me for one of the two sessions?
More about Android CarPlay for the Apple users.
Okay, so getting the experience and being able to walk through Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. What happened in your experiences today? Did everything go smooth, or did you have a few speed bumps? Okay, so when you have these speed bumps, what will be some of your new best practices in troubleshooting to get the technology in an operational mode? Turn the phone off, turn the phone back on. Excellent, give me more.
Delete and then re-add the phone.
You've got it. Delete the phone and then repair it. Another piece that I added in for some of you, and I wanted to make sure I came back and revisited it, at times the Android phone will have updates. And so you'll have to make sure if that happens with a customer, because the customer might say, oh yeah, I had 17 updates to do. You'll have to do the updates, allow that phone to update, and then try it again. That will also affect how the car reads the text messages and the software interacts. So making sure those updates happen. Well, I'm very happy that you were able to take a few things away. What I'd like to do is come back and revisit now a couple of features. Remember how I told you I was going to come back and touch on road departure mitigation? Remember, as a refresh, road departure mitigation is part of the trifecta. We have lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and then road departure mitigation. So in the midst of the experience, if you're not keeping the vehicle, lane keep assist can't keep the vehicle in the center lane, then you begin to veer out of your lane without using the turn signal and are over 45, and it's clearly the vehicle is reading the road and reading the lines with the camera, and you continue to go off towards the ditch area, and you cross over the line. Road departure mitigation has to always see one line. It's got to see the box dot or the cat eyes. If it's able to connect there with its normal angle, then it will use the brakes and use the steering to help further mitigate the collision off-road. So that is the third piece. Now, some customers may ask you, can I turn this off? The answer is yes, they can, but we really don't want to encourage them to turn it off. So we have different settings that I'd like to walk you through. The first one is knowing that this button exists. That will turn road departure mitigation off. If you do that, it also disengages lane departure warning. The next piece here, if you were to go into the audio display touchscreen, you're going to find vehicle, and then you're going to go here to driver assist system setup. And then as you get into the vehicle settings, you're going to choose road departure mitigation. This will allow you to change the settings. Normal is the default, which means the camera's shooting just a normal angle. Wide will increase the angle so it'll get a little bit larger viewpoint. And then warning only will bring it down just so you have visual cues. It will not brake and it will not help with the steering. So there's a way for you to back out of the safety features without turning it off if that is indeed what the customer is truly expressing to you that they want. Okay? There's a lot of benefit in getting to know the different settings. So while you have some free time at work or you prioritize differently and make 15 minutes to sit inside, I'd like you to go through some of these settings to fully explore what you have capability of changing. Another piece that I'd like to talk with you about is the collision mitigation braking system. How many different stages do we have? Three. Collision mitigation system basically operates, and if it knows that there's going to be an imminent collision, it can actually engage anywhere from the first stage to the third stage. Depends on how quickly that accident may happen. The first stage, what do you see and what do you hear? Yes, you see the visual, and then you hear the chimes. Second stage, what do you hear and see and experience? Brakes, light braking, as well as visual and auditory indicators. And then the third stage, yes, you have got now beeps, you've got the auditory, and you also have hard braking and steering wheel vibration. So you're going to get everything coming at you to help warn you that it's trying to mitigate it, okay? So collision mitigation braking system mitigates by using the brakes. The next system that we have is called forward collision warning. That only shows you visually that you need to brake. It too has distances that you can go in and customize. Long, normal, and short. Normal is the default. I would recommend you leaving it on normal until the customer really gets familiar with their product and understands what this technology does. If you come up too hot, too fast on another car, it'll flash the visual indicator and go beep, 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 letting you know that you need to hit the brakes. Again, it will not brake for you. It's a separate system, even though these technologies do overlap with the different technologies that they use to get to operate. Doesn't mean they all operate exactly the same. Okay, so your resources, because you've only spent 4 hours in that 30,000 hour of this acquisition of new skill and further defining what a vehicle perfect delivery is, I want to leave you with some resources. You have these in your book. Just to mention them very quickly, HondaLink.com. That's going to be your homework to go in and download that app. Again, it is absolutely free if you go into Google Play as well as into Apple App Store. You also, too, have owners.honda.com. Apple.com, Android.com, handsfreelink.com, which is for your compatibility for your phones. The 4-step delivery process, this is found on the IN, on the Interactive Network. It is awesome. It's a booklet. I'd encourage you to go in and take a look at that. And then you've got YouTube. We've got a wonderful Honda channel that's out there. You can watch in a lot of different videos to connect. And then our new delivery tool called the Honda Tech Tour. You can go to HondaTechTour.com to be able to bookmark that for future use. So a lot of different resources. Again, it's not necessarily how much you know, it's knowing where to go to get the right information. So at any point, I want to encourage all of you, if you don't know the answer, let the customer know. I don't know the answer, but I know where I can get it. That's displaying our Honda core values with complete transparency. And that's the way I would like to ask you to respond. Today, some of you have asked me questions. I'm like, I don't know, but I can get you the answer. I've got to be able to say the same thing that will help in terms of how we proceed forward with the best Honda advocates that we can. So we've discussed the best practices already. I would like to do is conclude on this core value piece. What I've seen today from all of you is you've had the utmost respect for class. Thank you very much for choosing to show up and to give me 100% here to learn about new technologies. But most importantly, by just watching how everyone has conducted themselves and the energy in which you've given, coming in, you knew I wasn't here to change your mind, but you were open to doing things differently. So on behalf of American Honda Motors and our Honda team here, I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for giving me your 100% here at training and for being willing to being open to doing it differently. And I think with that attitude, it will dictate the outcome of where we're going in the future. Not only for all of you in terms of your sustainability, retention, and profitability, but also, too, for the ownership experience for our customers. It's a direct reflection. So thank you very, very much. I think you should give yourself a round of applause. You're welcome. So to wrap us up, this is what I would absolutely love to do. On this side, we've got actually your surveys, evaluations to fill out. You will hand these to Lori outside. She will give you a departing gift on behalf of American Honda Motors. I'd also need you to please take your post-test on your iPads. If I can remind you, go ahead and push the button, slide to unlock. You're going to choose post-test. It's a green icon, and that will close you out. I would love to be able to gather your iPads for those of you that are just now finishing. Bring them up here to me to the front, and then we'll go ahead and close you out at the back. Thank you all very much. Have a great time, great day, great evening. You're welcome.